gamers, welcome to another Wednesday night stream. It's me, your boy, JTV Live. Noticing that something is missing. Hold on. Uno momento. I had this charging, and then, of course, forgot to put it up, so... What am I standing on? Oh. There we go. Alright. There we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Wednesday night stream. It's me, your boy, JTV Live, here with some more Planet Coaster 2. It has been a while since we played this game. 1 week, to be precise. And for those of you who do not remember, we are working on our boardwalk park. So I'll give you a whole zoom out here. This is what we have done so far. We're pretty close to finishing like this weird middle section here. We ended last stream. We worked on this restaurant over here, and this is a functional restaurant. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I think it looks really good. Built these like standing fire torches that I actually might upload to the workshop just as is, because I think they go pretty hard, and I'm sure other people would probably like them. And then after that, we moved on over here. We built this just other little medieval building here to kind of round out this section a bit. We built a picnic area here. I don't know what I'm gonna put here yet. Some form of scenery just to kind of fill up this gap. Because we don't really want any of these spaces to go totally unused. So I think tonight we're gonna work on I'm gonna work on this station here, and then maybe build like some extra restaurants and bathrooms around here. We also got this flat ride here that definitely needs some theming. So I'm trying to think how I want this to theme. Because I'm thinking about a couple things, right? For this, I'm thinking it could shoot out of a building at the bottom. We have enough room here for like a nice rectangle building. Maybe we could even build like a whole maybe not a whole warehouse. I think these tracks are all at like too many different heights and angles for that. Or build a tower going all the way up, because it stops at like the middle here, and it might be fun to just have like a straight tower and then openings where it stops, but I'm not sure. First and foremost, we need some coaster stations, actually. Those are like the two major things. This one, yeah, this one I think is going to be the most simple one. So we'll start with this. I think I'm just going to do like a continuation of this boardwalk theming here. Maybe with just some thicker supports. So we're going to go into the flat modern wood floor. I want it just like a little lower. I think here, and then here as well. Alright, I think that's good. And have it along here as well. I don't think there's any way to have them standing on top of it, so yeah, we'll just have to do this, I think. So we'll do this. And continue it here. And we can have some separation. There and there. Bam. Okay. And let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, because it's going to need to be kind of boxy. Because we want to imply that there's like extra support structures, since this is like a pretty in real life, this would be a pretty heavy section here. So I think this all the way around. And this also, like, implies, machinery work underneath it as well. I think like that. Boom. Oh, well, we messed up somewhere, but I don't think anybody's really gonna notice. Yeah, I think that works. So like that. And then yeah. All the way across. Oh, I'm surprised this isn't even. Oh well. It doesn't matter. Have this go all the way down. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay. Go down here. Okay. There we go. Boom. Okay. Go here. I'm not gonna bother all with all that shit. I don't even know why I started that. That seems like just a complete waste of time. I'm just gonna grab this. Maybe having concrete footers would make more sense for this bit. But I think just the... Okay. It's just like this. I'll go snap distance. No, why? There we go. Perfect. Not quite. That's a little bit too close. So I'm thinking right here. And then, actually I'm thinking more like there. Okay. Like right there should be good. Boom. Damn it, what happened? I don't even understand what went on there. Bam. that good? I think that's pretty well integrated. And we'll just do the same thing with this here. And then this is pretty straightforward. Boom. There we go. Oh, damn. That lines up really well. Perfect. Okay, cool. I would say with that, that's one station done. It's definitely not like the most incredible or fantastic roller coaster station that I've ever built. But I would say it's pretty solid. These ones... I'm just like looking up other roller coasters of this type, like what their stations kind of look like. Let's see. Let's look for some inspiration over here. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I really like... Let's see. Let me resize it. This one is kind of cool. I like this one. I really like the asymmetric roof design, and I think there's pieces that we could easily recreate this with. So I'm gonna keep that one in mind. I don't think it would fit this coaster in this location, but it's an idea to just keep in our brain. Okay, I like this one. Again, doesn't quite fit. I think something like this. I think something like this would probably work for this station. So I think I'm gonna go use that as my guide and kind of see where we go. So let's align scenery of the station. Obviously, the base is like plaster. It's more like concrete, but this is like the same idea. And it looks like a kind of off gray. So I think this Spanish gray should work. We'll be putting stuff on top of this, so hopefully that will help with the flickering. And then coming in here, I actually think we can just do that. I'm pretty sure that clearance is totally fine. Yeah, that's plenty of room. Okay, cool. That makes things significantly easier. Like this. Damn, I didn't realize how tightly packed this wooden coaster is to this station here. I like that though. The more stuff we add to this theme park, like the more dynamic these coasters get. Like this wooden coaster now having like all these buildings around and going through here, is a lot more interesting. Yeah, that's all I had to say on that. Let's see. So the next thing we want are kind of like those blue panels that they have there. And we'll do like the support posts later. But let's see. What fits those? I feel like there's a piece that's almost like exactly what I'm picturing in my brain. Oh, I'm in like all. I do not need to be in all. It's gonna be in the wall section. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What do we have? This? Maybe? No, not quite. I mean, this asset we could make. In theory, we could make it ourselves. Because if you look here, what I've got. Something for this blue. This blue here. Is the piece that I'm going for. So let's see. Maybe if we go under all. I feel like there is a piece that's almost like exactly like that. But maybe I'm wrong. I could just be tripping. It's always possible that I'm tripping. Very imbalanced. Okay, well I'm seeing like a lot of miscellaneous pieces that are going to be useful. I'll have to keep all these in mind. Oh. Okay. Not quite. That would be... I think this was what might have been what I was thinking of. It's just not exact, but... If I did something like... obviously make this a way deeper blue. If I did something like this, and then something like this. That kind of gives the same effect, but I hate that. Oh, we don't need to have them layered, because we can just do this. And then have the one at the very end be flipped. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. Just like this. I think like that. Boop. based. And then all of these, of course, going to come over here. Oh, it needs to be flipped, which means it needs to be moved here. Bam. It's like boom. 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 I like it. That's close to what we want. It actually kind of fits the color scheme of the coaster as well, which is really good. It's like an added bonus. Boom. Just like this. Bam. And we just can copy and paste this to the other side. So we got this. We're gonna move it this way. Perfect. And now that we have that done, if you look, and also just in general, there's like this thing, which I'm guessing is like the control. So should not have done that. I should not have closed it. Can I, hold on. There we go. Okay, cool. I have it back now. So now that we've got that down, it needs to be higher on this side. Or, no, it doesn't. Never mind. Scenery. We're gonna go into, not this. We need just like long posts. No. Wooden pillar. Plain pillar. Yeah, I want that, but square. Do we get that? No. Okay. We're gonna have to improvise. Sorry that most. Yo, what's up, Mr. EJ Rod and Skelly Bones? Yo, what's up? Welcome back, Skelly Bones. Just playing some Dying Light. Nice. Night in game. Oh, that's never fun. I'm scrolling through the menus. I was just about to say, like, I feel like 90% of the stream is definitely just gonna be me scrolling through the menus trying to find the right piece that fits what I need. But that is significantly less stressful than trying to survive the night in Dying Light, so I can only complain so much, really. That is like not remotely what I need. Oh no, you got hit by the Usain Bolt zombie? That's never fun. This might work if I can get it small enough. I can, but not quite in the right way. Oh. Oh no, no. Maybe. 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 Actually, if we do this and this and this and this. Yeah, I buy that. I totally buy that. So we're gonna use this. See, I knew we would find the right piece if we just kept looking. You know, we had to get into the Luffy mindset to find the one piece we needed. Go like this. No. Okay, get rid of this overhang. Boom. Okay. This can come out a little bit more. Alright, now we go back down the line. And we'll have to recalibrate some of this on the other side. If I go like this, and then like this, and then like this, and like this, and like this. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Is there short roof trim? Hell yeah, there is. Oh, this is like the miracle piece. Who would have thought that just simple roof trim would have been like the perfect thing we needed? Ah, perfect. Okay. And then we go like this. Perfect. Grab these, grab this, grab this. Okay. Just like this. Oh, that doesn't work anymore. That's fine, I can fix it, I can fix it. I'll make it work. This should be a fairly straightforward process. Perfect. So we got just like that. And then now we need the support pillars. So let's see. I'd like them to be square. Oh. This is better. Yeah, if we make this the same, like, I think this will work better. Nope, not what I meant to do. want to go like this. I'm thinking like this. And then snap distance 13. Okay, so just like that. And I kind of see what they're doing over here. So just like this. And the other side's going to be slightly different, so we're not going to be able to just copy and paste this bad boy, as nice as that would be. And then we want to copy all of this. Bring it up. Bring it back. Don't know quite what happened over here, but it's okay. And that could be kind of left hanging like that. There we go. Perfect. Now we go back into here, and now we want these plain pillars, and we want them to be the same off-white. We want this up here, and this is what's gonna be holding up the roof. I think that's pretty much right on. And we'll probably have to change the height of these, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. This one needs to be brought back. I guess we weren't quite as right on the money as we thought we were. But making these small adjustments is fairly straightforward. So we've got that. Perfect. So now we've got that all done. Now I'm gonna move to the other side. I'm gonna keep this open. And then over here, the deal's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna make this smaller, go up, and pretty much just like that. And then just like that. And we're gonna make this snap distance 3. Just go. Okay, maybe not 3 on this side here. We'll do that. but then on this side, snap distance 3. Boom. And we'll delete these as we go, after we go through all this, because this isn't going to be perfectly symmetrical all the way across. What am I clicking? What's in the way? Okay. We're going to come back over here. Boom, boom, boom. Bring it all the way. Boom. Get rid of these. Get rid of these. This. Bring this over. Delete this. Yeah. Okay. So we've got all that. I'm gonna add I want to try and add some extra flavor. So I think if I go down to M, this might look horrible, but let's see if we can't like damn it, it's doing that funky thing that I hate. Otherwise, this would kind of go hard. Just like here, and then like one here. Just like add some variety, but I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah. Anyway, going here. The actual plans for this, and then this. I think we're gonna need to use this guy. No, that's this guy. Do that. And just move down the line. Throw it here. See, we're gonna get this double glass effect. No matter what. I really do. Unless... Hold on. Boom. Okay. I think it's pretty rad. So far, so good. And then these two are like pretty wide. So I think it should be pretty safe to... think I'll just leave this open. Because I don't think that's necessary. Okay. Just like this. Then. Okay. Now we go into scenery. I'm gonna go into roofs. I think like aquatic corrugated. Flat roofs. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna need to is that I don't think that's the roof we want. Tar pitch, steel. This. Hold on, let's build like the big complicated part first, actually. Because we have this big arch that we want to do. And I think... Yeah, this doesn't get us to our arch dreams. So I think we're gonna want the aquatic. Yeah. This is way more in line with what we want. What's up, Crazy Emma? Oh no, you gotta cut down on that sugar. There's ways you can prevent that if you have sometimes. That's why diet's important. Boom. No. Yes. 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 This is what I want. Okay, this is exactly what I want. Ooh. Well, a lot of it is just that there's so much friggin' sugar in all of our, like, literally everything we eat. That's like a major issue. There we go. You can thank post-capitalism for that. There's your vocab word of the day, kids. I'm thinking like right. Okay. So we've got that. We need to raise this up a bit. Which I figured we might have to do. It just needs to be like a tad. It's very close, just not quite there. Perfect. Okay, so we've got that. And then now we need these long, simple posts. It's actually good that it's getting darker outside. Because we'll be able to light it. This needs to be a contrasting color. I just decided. Okay. And then raise it up until it hits. Right there. So now if I go click here, and align it with this ridge here. And then with this ridge here. And with this ridge here. This ridge here. I'm actually going to do that ridge. And then with this one, I'm actually going to do this ridge. That way it's not like in the direct line of people trying to board. So we've got that good and down. This needs to be a bit more this way. So we've got all that squared away. Oh, we need to line them up properly. Boom. Boom. Okay. So we've got all that good. I think I'm gonna make these contrasting as well. Just the inner ones. Put that back inside. Put you back inside. Okay, nice. And then all of these, we're gonna change those inner posts to be the right color. This same contrasty blue. This contrasty blue. And then now we go scenery. How thin do these get? I want something like super thin. That's not quite. Close, but not quite there. Concrete. Oh, that's why it looks slightly different. It's I picked the wrong. Okay, well that's fine. I think we're gonna want coaster supports for this bad boy. Because if I remember correctly, these get pretty thin. That's about the same, actually. Okay, that's like thinnest. That's also a wood board. Okay. I think that's as thin as we're gonna get. Maybe. Or maybe. Nah. That doesn't get me what I want either. Okay, I'm trying to think of how I want to light this bad boy. Oh, a signpost. That's as small as that gets. Hold on, we might find what I want in here. Because I want to do, like, hanging lights. But all of the hanging lights that, like, come with the game... Perfect, I'm satisfied with this. All of the hanging lights that come with the game, aren't bright enough for what I want. So... this... go ahead and flip this up for me. And then come right here. Okay. And then come into lights. And we want, where is he? Where is he? This bad boy. And I want it to be almond. And look how much better that lights up this area than the other lights would. And so now we just drag it along. Get it right. Boom. That looks really good. And then over here, I think we can just use these flat lights. Or we might even be able to just use these. Okay, and then this light needs to be more green shifted. Because this is fluorescent. Okay, I know it needs to be this smaller one. Even if this gives off less light. No. Okay. It's fine. That's good enough. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks pretty rad. I feel like I need to add more... Actually, this is what it needs. It's a really simple fix. It should need something here. Then the same on the other side. Boom. And I would say that's ready. That's a coaster station right there. The one I was drawing inspiration from has like a few more things going on. But I think for now, that's pretty good. So now, the last roller coaster station we need to build, at least as far as coasters. Is this the last one? I think every other one has a... Yeah, this has a station. This... We could do something for a station with this log flume, I feel like, for sure. But that's okay. Let's come back over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, well that is... Okay, well this is... Oh my goodness. Why is there so much litter? Why is there so much? I thought I had have plenty of bins, I felt like. But I guess not. Um okay, we need to put more bins like everywhere. Do I not have like any janitors hired at all? That might also be the problem. Maybe I just don't have enough janitors for the amount of stuff that I have going on. But this is a immediate problem that needs fixed. We cannot have this much litter in our park. This is like wildly unacceptable. I'm terrified to see what the other side looks like. Okay, we'll put this guy here. This is a perfect spot for a bin. This could just be like the trash corner, because I know some theme parks will have a place with like multiple bins. Put a bin here, and put a bin here. We need more benches down this way too, but that's a less immediate problem. We need more bins. Put a bin. Drop a bin. Over here we need bin. Bin. Nice. Got bins over here, and then we need bin, and then bin, and then bin. We need more. Put a guy there. Put a guy there. Okay, and then staff, janitor. We have unlimited money, so I'm just gonna drop these guys all the way along. Do we have a lot of litter in here? Yes. Not a ton though, but I think we need more bins in there. Yeah, there's litter everywhere, bro. Everywhere. I must have had like no bins anywhere. I've been so distracted with like buildings and coaster stations that I've let the rest of my theme park fall into utter disarray. Okay, we need more bin placement. So coming over here, we need a guy here. We have a bin there. And we have bins over here. Okay, cool. That works. Clearly, somehow we don't have enough over here, so let's try and remedy that. Just more bins. Bin here, and then one here. Coming over here. Alright, now then coming out into this part of the park, we need more standard bins. So, like, yeah. I'll put one here. Yeah, there's like no trash bins on this side of the park at all. Put a bin here. We'll put a bin here. Obviously at the entrances to these big crossroads here definitely need bins. I'll throw you here. Come down here, put a bin here. And a bin here. Obviously we're gonna need bins here and here. We need to make those green though. I'll throw a bin here. And a bin here. And a bin here. These should be tropical coming into that section. Okay, so now make this nice mantis green. Throw one here. Throw one here. And then inside, bin here. Bin here. A bin. And that should be plenty for inside there. This is a busy subway. Then put it. Let's go into a tropical. Boom. We got a tropical bin there. We've got one there. Got one there. We also need more lights. I need to copy some more of these tropical lights to put them around. And we can just put some in like the middle of pathways. Got a bin there. Throw some around here. Then obviously we'll need some here. Throw it here. One here. One over here. One over here. We don't want people to have to walk too far away to throw away their trash, so... Okay. And then on this, I don't really care about adding bins all along this loop. I think I want to add a Ferris wheel over here. I don't know what I would theme it to though, but we'll worry about that later. We've got more pressing and stinky issues to worry about. I guess this is what I get for playing without notifications. It's pretty much my just desserts at that point. Throw you here. And I'll take one of you, and I'll throw you. I'll put you over here, actually. I'll take this nice red one to put here. And then also a nice red one over here. And then I know I have a green one. I think this is the green one. Yeah. I'll throw this here. Nice. And then I think we can afford another blue one. Maybe. Over here. One here. Nice. Grab this yellow. And I can do like... boom. And then... boom. Nice. And then this red one, or this... I'll do this red one over here. Just throw it down there. This green one, I'm gonna throw over here. Nice. This actually looks really cool. I'm really happy I went with these colored lights. I think it really adds an interesting... adds a nice aura to the park. So now I'm gonna grab this blue one. I'm gonna throw it here. And then this yellow one I'm gonna throw right over here. Let me get this blue one. Right there. Grab this red. Actually, no, grab this yellow. I'm gonna throw this right here. Grab this green. Throw this bad boy here. Yo, what's up, JDM? I'll check Snap. Thanks for completely directing my stream. It's really cool. Nice. What am I looking? Some of these are from like days ago. Oh, I see they gentrified your Wendy's. That's a bummer, bro. Bird. I'm like waiting to get to the thing you obviously want me to see. Yo, that's pretty rad. That is a great use of a projector. What's up, Jaden? Hey, new first theme park in Planet Coaster 2. Congratulations. Yeah, I got to the last one, JDM. I saw that. I think that's a perfect use of a projector, frankly. I think that's like what projectors were meant for. No, we want red. I want red. Here. And I think yellow over here would be a good balance to a lot of these more neon lights. Okay. It's like double checking to make sure they're all correctly planted on the ground. I think a green one would be perfect right here. Wow, this is really illuminating how much garbage there is. It's okay. Red fits here. Do you have an issue in moving stuff that costs more than 100K in the game? I am going to be completely honest. I have never touched this game without having unlimited cash. So, I'm afraid I cannot help you there. So, I am a sandbox purist when it comes to this game. Even when I'm, like, playing the career levels, it's usually just so I can unlock the other career levels in sandbox. That's like my main go-to. Okay. That looks all properly lit. I think these we can just like... I think I can just keep these going. Like here, and then... here. No, like when it says corner 100K with sandbox on, do you lag? When it says in the corner 100K with sandbox on, do you lag? I have not had that issue. I haven't had too much lag related issues. Although I do know that this game, if you have like lower memory or a lower processor, this game kind of sneaks up on you with how much it uses. And I know that I will say I have had it crash before when moving things, so I do know that there is something in the way that this game like processes the movement of objects that can kind of fuck up the engine a bit. I've noticed. Okay, we have to be watch clearance here. That should be out of the way. Okay, and I haven't really built anything off that way, so I'm not super worried. Coming into here. I'm kind of partial to the screams, not gonna lie, but I will say there are a lot of guest sounds that do kind of get on my nerves. I will also say that there's been less and less the longer this game has been out So they do seem to be patching a lot of those out. But I grew up playing like all of the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, so like the scream noises are kind of almost nostalgic in a way, because they haven't really, the sound effects haven't really updated too much. They've just gotten more layered. And then I'll use these colored ones as like fill. Green. Your guest screaming your Pokemon ride that goes 7 miles an hour. That I could see being annoying. That, with that added context, yeah, I could see that being like, come on, bro. My least favorite guest behavior is when they cover their face on a roller coaster. Some guests do that like for a majority of the ride, and it can be really annoying at times. But you know, what can you do? I would like them to patch in a way for you to like be able to turn that off. Like just a toggle. Because like, yeah, I could just test the roller coaster and that gets rid of it, but sometimes it's nice to ride the coasters like with the guest sounds, you know? It adds a lot more depth a lot of the time. Where's my green? Here we go. You see people pass out on my least intense coaster and not on your most intense? That's funny. I would assume that that's because of how the like tolerances work. Like if your most intense coaster probably has like a tolerance threshold that's a lot higher. So like it could even be a case where like the tolerance threshold is so high for guests to even get on the coaster that like the guests' tolerance is so high that they can't pass out. Whereas like the tolerance required to get on a gentle ride is like super low. So if they have a super low tolerance and like you just so happen to hit that, because I think that's what's happening with the hands in the face. Is it's like just it's on the line of being almost too frightening for that particular guest. At least that's what it kind of feels like to me. Okay, so I've got that. Most funny interaction, though, is them looking like they're going to poop themselves before boarding a ride when they're right next to a restroom. Yes! Dude, my favorite thing is, like, when they're doing that in line and you just see it's, like, a super long line. Or if you've ever done transport rides, like, trains or monorails that go from, like, that have multiple stations, sometimes you can run into a situation where, like, all of your trains get stacked on one side of the transport ride. So, like, the other side will have, like, no trains and a super long line. And it can be quite funny when, like, every guest is clearly, like, about to explode. But, like, there's It's like, why? I don't know why you got in this line, buddy. Boom. I really love these underlights for plants. I think they add some nice depth to them. And also just kind of help to separate out the landscaping when it's nighttime. And these are close enough. Dude. Now all lit up. This zone is a party. As it stands right now. Okay. I think that's all of, like, the housekeeping issues with the park done. Walking around, there seems to be a lot less litter. And everything... At least everything up to here is now properly lit. So I'm gonna need... we're gonna need to duplicate these and bring these down more. Boom. Okay, I like that. Yo, what's up, Sam? This game is 1,000% worth $50 in my opinion. Unless you, like, hate theme parks and roller coasters, then maybe not. Maybe not the best game for you, honestly. But this game's been out since, like, what? November, and I already have, like, almost 600 hours in it. So I guess there's my thoughts right there as to whether or not I paid $50 for it and I've gotten 600 hours of entertainment, so that is well worth it to me. At least that's how I judge the value of games. Is kind of like... I kind of judge it in terms of movie tickets. Like, oh, if I spend, like, $10, you know, that's like a 2-hour movie. So if I spend $60 on a game, in theory, I should be getting at least, like, 12 hours of entertainment value out of it. So that's kind of how I go. Do you use custom audios from, like, YouTube? I do not. I do not do custom audios for YouTube. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, to be completely honest. Do 30 hours per bye week. That's probably about what I do, give or take, about 30 hours every 2 weeks. Because I would say that I probably spend 2 to 3 hours in it on a daily basis. But, and also, like, keep in mind, with my play style, results may vary, right? Because my play style is very much like, I want, at least at this point in my Planet Coaster experience, I want, like, all of my parks to be entirely made by me. So, like, all of the buildings custom designed, all of the coasters, all of the infrastructure, everything like that, all the landscaping. So I put, like, a lot of time into just building buildings. So, like, you might, if you're just downloading buildings off of the workshop, then you're probably going to spend a lot less time. I don't know why I continued these lights all the way. Having the medieval lighting all the way out here makes literally no sense. I was just talking and not really paying attention to what I was doing. I should not do that. Okay, I'm going to switch the fixed sun on. We're going to build a coaster station for this bad boy. Because I just kind of had an idea pop in my head of what we can do for this. So, line station with scenery. And I'm going to get executed on this quickly while the idea is fresh. No. I want the Viking... The Viking stuff. I'm waiting for swing launches and then switch tracks like Haggard's at Universal. Yes. I mean, like, I'm happy just that there are, like, switch tracks and swing launches and stuff in the game, period. But, like, I would love to see, I would especially love to see switch tracks on, like, some of the other launch coasters. Especially, like, the ones that are based off of, like, the Intamin launch coasters. Like, being able to rebuild Pantheon, I think, would be awesome. And I'm actually kind of surprised that that wasn't in the base game. My only assumption would be, like, there's some sort of engine limitation. Because I remember that, like, when they were doing playtests and when this game was coming out, the switch tracks and drop tracks were, like, hella buggy. Like, super buggy. So I would imagine, or I would assume that they just weren't quite able to figure out adding switch tracks and swing launches to all the other coaster styles. But I would love that, and I would also love to see them, because they had the motorbike launch coasters in Planet Coaster 1. So I would love to see the motorbike launch coasters make a return. And then I would imagine they are, because it seems like they're adding at least one new or returning coaster type with each update. And I would imagine that they're going to be updating this game for quite a while. I don't think this is like a 1-year plan kind of deal. And then they haven't even really started DLCs yet. So I would imagine that eventually we'll get stuff like that. You need Kuga and Planet Coaster 2, though. I get that. I totally get that. I have, like, so many ideas that are just sort of, like, shelved at the moment. Because I'm just kind of, like... I have, like, a sneaking suspicion they're going to add exactly what I need for them. For these... to execute these ideas. And so I don't want to, like, start on them. To be let down. Like, I had a ton of ideas for Western theme parks. And, like, I would have been capable of making, like, Western themed buildings before the Western theme came out. But I had a strong gut feeling that they were going to re-add the Western theme. So I'm glad that I waited to do that. And that's like the same reason I'm not building, like, a ton of fantasy theming or pirate theming. Because I thought about making, like, part of this area pirate themed. But I have a suspicion that they're going to re-add the pirate theme back to the base game. So I'm going to wait to do anything like that until that comes out. No. Where'd it go? Here it is. Most likely gonna make sci-fi when it drops this month? Yes. I don't have... My problem right now is, like, when the Western theme came out, I already had, like, a ton of ideas for Western theme parks. Like, if I go to load parks, like, this is a Western park, this is a Western park, and this is a Western park. And, like, I had these 3 ideas just, like, sitting, waiting for that. That is not the case with the sci-fi theme. But I will say the very first theme park that I ever started in this game, like literally day 1 when it came out, is I was working on like a movie studio, like a movie themed park. I wanted like each section to be a different genre, and I haven't touched it since, pretty much. Mainly because I'm waiting for all these extra themes to come out before I really start going ham on that park. Because, like, that would be a park that the pirate theme would be great for. That's, the Western theme already is great for that. The sci-fi theme that you mentioned coming out is going to be great for that. So I think I'm going to wait for the pirate theme and see if maybe they don't give us a fantasy theme before I return to that movie park. Or even a horror. I would love a spooky theme. That would make me really happy. But they might... I would imagine that if they're going to do a spooky theme, then this Halloween or next Halloween is probably when they would go about doing that. Gonna go play Planet Coaster 2. See you later. Hey, that is a perfectly valid reason to dip. Good luck on your park. Enjoy your time. And maybe I'll see you next stream. You can let me know how it's going. Give me progress update. Also, I feel like I should mention this now. Pretty much, if anybody out there hates building buildings, I'm not the best builder at all. But all of the stuff that I build on stream, when it's completed, like all of the buildings, all of the theming and stuff, I throw them all on the workshop. So my workshop code is down in the description below. So if you see like a building that you like, or a theme park that I've built that you want to explore, those are all going to be there. Feels like the natural time to bring that up. Just the shameless self promo, you know, ABP. Perfect. I hate the color of this. We're gonna see if we can't make it drive. That's the color we want. So now we just need to select all of the ones we placed. Go into here. Boom. These need to be thicker. I don't like it. I'm changing my mind. They definitely need to be thicker. They need to be like this thickness. Actually, I'm just gonna grab one of these. I think this. Is that the right thickness? No, I think we might just straight want one of these. But like slightly smaller. So like maybe 220. That feels about right. And then now we have this coming almost all the way up. And then let's see if we can't make this jive a bit more. Yeah. Boom. I'm not just gonna mimic the medieval theming that we have going on. I'm gonna give it kind of its own identity. I like that. Boom, boom. Bring this over here. Perfect. Boom. Boom. Bam. Okay. And let's repeat this pattern. I actually like that it's slightly below barrier. I don't like this constant flickering. I wish there was a way to fix that, but I actually don't really think there is because of the height we need it at. Wow, everyone's really happy. Yeah, clap. I know, the park looks great. I think that's why they're cheering. They're like, damn, that new coaster station, you're killing it. I think that's what they're signaling. That's the vibe I'm getting. Move it right here. Base. Okay, perfect. I like all that. And I think that's pretty good as is. It's fine to have some above ground stations, I think. And I think this is a nice transition from the fantasy into like these more like modern style buildings that I have over here. I still need to come up with a name for this restaurant. Because right now it's just a blank wall. Which is kind of funny. Okay. I feel like maybe we could use with some trees. It's so hard to figure out what I want to fill all this space with. But I think for sure, especially now that I'm working on these other Western theme parks off stream, what's been really good about that is I'm like steadily, like if I go into blueprints, I'm steadily getting a library of Western themed buildings. You can see all these down here. So I think eventually I think I'm gonna make this the Western segment. Maybe? Yeah, Western over here. And that should go a lot quicker than these other sections have gone. Just because I'll have most of like the building and infrastructure we need for that already said and done. Now this guy. It definitely needs a station. It definitely needs something going on with it. Yeah, let me see the light colors. Okay, let's change carriage. Alright, so I can't really change the lighting color. Okay, that's fine. So we'll switch back to daytime. I think I want this to be dark gray. This, I want to be black. Can I make that more? And red. Okay. Okay. This needs to be red, and this needs to be black. Just kidding. This needs to be black, and this needs to be orange. So that's what we got there. Oh, this? That can be black. Okay. Now that's a color scheme that matches the area. So now I don't know what building to put, what kind of anything to put it in. It's a tricky one. I think I'll have to come back to that guy. But now we got a station built, which is pretty rad. I think we need a sign. A sign. I think I'll have to workshop that on. What time is it? 8:43. Okay, I feel like that's a good stopping point. I feel like I've completed all of like the major tasks that I needed to get done tonight, which were all of the stations and oh, awesome, and all the other stuff. I guess we can turn this off now. It's about to be morning. Yeah, all of the stations. Oh, this. I just don't know what I want to put here. We definitely don't need any more shops. Like, we've got so many shops. Like, all through all of this. So, I guess... Let's do this. Okay. We'll set it to noon. And let's do a walkthrough. We haven't done a walkthrough of this park yet. Especially now that, like, all of these areas are complete. It's a lot more interesting. Oh, let's go this way first. Actually, no, we'll go this way first. This way's better. I like low-key kind of completely forgot that these two aquatic buildings were even here. This, like, little corrugated metal section is kind of uber random. But I think this side of the park has come together a lot better than the other side. Like, things are a lot more packed in over here, a lot more dense. As much as I love that big launch coaster, it did kind of limit the building space a lot with how much it winds around over there. So maybe it might be useful to put some like more restaurants or gift shops over there and have the coaster kind of either go through them or around them. Just kind of fill out all of that empty space over there. But everything else with the park I think has come together really well. I think we can also do another slide tower, or even maybe more slides off of the same tower, because we got room for at least one more runoff here. And I can always alter this queue. This queue does not need to be as long as it is. That coaster is not quite as popular as I was anticipating it to be. Oh, let's go walk over by the wave pool. Music is another thing that I need to add to this park. I need to put music around it. I haven't done that at all. So all we got is just like the music that came with the stock scenery that I placed. But I'm happy with how of these things have turned out. I think the park feels very cohesive so far. Even though everything, it's like all these different sections. I like the density, at least on this side. I think I need to brainstorm that other side, or maybe just like plop down another roller coaster. Just say like, fuck it, I'm putting a roller coaster here. Just kind of fill out space. But the problem with that is, again, I don't know what I'm gonna do at the very back of that park over there. I don't quite know what the layout's gonna be, and I don't really want to do what I do with the launch coaster, which is throw down a roller coaster and then kind of box myself into a corner of like, oh, I don't know what to do with this guy anymore. Ooh. Good timing on that ride. Lots of nice buildings running around. I feel like that Ferris wheel is really random there. I think I can probably delete that and put something else there, because I remember I added that Ferris wheel because my park rating was super low, just because I only had one roller coaster and nothing else. So I was like, well, I need something to actually attract people to the park. Again, once I fill out this dead space there, I think this whole thoroughfare will look a lot better. I think I could probably also add... I know for a fact I could add some buildings here. Or I'll probably add some planters over here. I think that will look nice. Actually, doing this walk around is actually giving me a lot of ideas. Some planters there. I think some planters here, and even a building. We could probably fit like another restroom or something there. And I think planters here as well. I think I even have that on that sign. I'm pretty sure that sign says scenery over there. I guess we can check. Oh, flat ride. Ooh. Ooh, that would fill out that spot really well. Oh, I'm so glad I put that sign there. What would even fit here? The insanity would. I don't think that's gonna fit here. Yeah, no. The zipper would fit here. I don't think that would look good though. I think it needs to be a more, I mean, not to be ironic, but a flat ride. Like, see, something like this would work really well right here. It might fuck up. It would probably fuck up this pathing. Wait, no, maybe not. Hold on. Where does this path end? Yeah, it ends there. And, like, the thing is, the base is, like, kind of right up on this coaster. But it's not interacting with the actual ride itself. I'm just gonna place it here for now. This is the perfect place for the queue. I like that. That kind of fills out this section. Or maybe even if I built a swinging ride, like one of the pendulum rides in here. I have no idea. What's up, Rose? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? How's your hump day going? I'm gonna leave that here for now. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna leave it there for now. Hump day is slaying. Nice, nice. I'm just chilling. I'm pretty much done with what I wanted to get done tonight. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it here, I guess. Recorded something new today that they may or may not start posting, but I'm vibing. Nice. Parker's looking sick. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy with how it came out, or how it's coming along so far. It's got a really nice vibe to it, especially like from a bird's eye view. I think like this whole segment all feels very like nice and packed in, which is what you would want from a boardwalk park in theory. I'm just struggling with this area over here because there's like so much dead empty space that I'm just like kind of struggling with ideas on how to fill, and the layout of this launch coaster did not help. Maybe if I moved this picnic section over here. No. Is that clipping? That totally looks like it's clipping. I feel like it's not. I'm gonna go ahead and ride this coaster because I want to check. I don't trust those clearances. And we'll end it with this. End on a nice POV. Here we go. Nice. This coaster's a lot more dynamic with those, that like picnic areas there. Okay, so far the clearances are looking good. This person is like terrified for some reason. They do not want to be able to see where they're going. At all. This person needs to chill the fuck out. Okay, I'm satisfied with those clearances being okay. Bam. Okay. I'm happy with that. That would be you? Nah, you would want to see where you're going. That's always better. I need to attract more people. I don't know why more people aren't going on this. Is this too expensive? Bam. Let's do that. And I want to ride this just because I want to see how it flows now that we have like all these areas built out. I haven't ridden this ride pretty much since I built it. So. Nice. Great entry. Love a good outer bank. I think this tunnel came out really nice. Really good head chopper there. As is always my issue with launch coasters like this, is I kind of just did too much. Like, this coaster's just way too long. Like, I think it's a really good layout, but for this park, I just made it way too long. Which, there's not too much I can do about it now, because it's kind of already built into a lot of the structure of things, but... And plus, I'm happy with the layout regardless. Most people prefer that, I assume. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I definitely prefer a long coaster. It's just that with how tight everything in this park needs to be. Like, you look at all the other roller coasters and even like this water ride. Like, they're all fairly contained pretty well in their own, like, they're all like contained in like a box. Like, they're all a lot more square. Whereas like this wooden coaster is this rectangle. This suspended coaster has this like rectangle here. Whereas this one, it's like a blob shaped. Like, there's way too many like it's square, but it's like a huge area of, it's just like a huge amount. Whereas like everything else is kind of like way more self-contained. But it is what it is. It's where it's at. Anyway, I need to end it there, gamers. So I will say thank you so much for tuning in. Rose, it was great chilling. Everybody else who was here, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I will be back Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the slightly delayed First Friday stream. So definitely come check that out. That'll be a lot of fun. Make sure, of course, the best way to make sure you don't miss any of the streams is to subscribe, hit the notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the streams. I'm live 4 times a week. Any of the videos, I upload a video every weekend. I upload shorts all week, so you'll get notified for all of that. Obviously, make sure you like the videos, like the shorts, like the streams. All of that helps them do well in the algorithm, helps it get seen by more people, which, of course, helps the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate that. So, yeah. I'm so bad at ending. I feel like I've gotten my like outro down to a science, except for how it ends. It always is just like, and I said everything. That's it. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you all on Friday at 8 for First Friday. Stay sponge, gamers.